Good afternoon, graduates, family, friends, distinguished guests. Welcome to Convocation at the University of Waterloo. My name is Feridun Hamdalapur, and I have the honor of serving as President and Vice Chancellor of this great university. It's my privilege to welcome you all to campus for this momentous occasion to celebrate the accomplishments of our soon-to-be graduates. Not quite yet, a few more steps. No more exams, though. Okay? However, before we start this exciting day of celebrations and tradition, it is important to reflect, acknowledge, and pay respect to the elders, past and present, of the neutral Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee peoples. We are gathered today on their traditional territory as the University of Waterloo sits on Haldimand Tract, the land promised to the Six Nations people along the Grand River. If you please remain standing while I invite Birgit Muczynski to sing our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras s'est porté les pays, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Birgit. Please be seated. Now it's my pleasure to invite our Chancellor, Mr. Dominic Barton, to the podium.
Well, welcome. Welcome, graduands, or soon-to-be graduates, all of the relatives, parents, friends, supporters through your time to celebrate this momentous day, to the President, the Provost, and to our faculty who have been so committed to your development and your success as well. What I want to do over the next few minutes is cover three things. One is to start the congratulations. There's going to be a lot of that as we go through this to celebrate this day. I then secondly want to talk a little bit about the context in which you are going to be leading the world over the next 20 to 30 years, because you're going to play a very important part in a very challenging time. And then the third, I want to talk a little bit about some of the formalities or practicalities of the convocation. So first, let's start by congratulating the class of 2019 that's here. If we can all join me in this. And if I could ask the graduands and colleagues around here to also share some applause with all of the family, again, relatives, friends, and supporters to you, if we could all thank them for what they've done. We should also thank our faculty for extraordinary work over the years and commitment. It's the one thing I hear most often across the stage. When I ask what people remember, they talk about faculty and a particular member, so just a special thanks to the faculty. We're going to do more of the celebrating as we go through it. I just wanted to say a few comments about the world that you're going to lead in. And I think with your Waterloo education and the experiences you've had, you're well positioned for it. But just a few comments. I think personally you are going to be leading in some of the most interesting times in history. And I take a sort of 500-year time frame in that view. There are so many changes that are occurring at one time like nothing we've ever seen before. We're at the very beginnings of a new technology revolution. You all, in the work that you're doing and the research that you have been pursuing, are at the very center of that. But it's the early stages, and what we're seeing from the early stages is it is disrupting everything. I would even argue it's disrupting science and how we think about it. And again, I think we'll talk about it. You at Waterloo are very much in the forefront of it. So we're early days of a massive technology revolution affecting everyone. We are also in the midst of a huge economic power shift from the west to the east. For the last 250 years, the center of the global economy has been in the west. It is going to return in the time in which you're leading back to the east, to Asia and also to Africa. And that's something we're all going to have to adjust to. That creates huge opportunities for us. And again, I'm so excited to see the diversity in the class at Waterloo. It's very global, and I think that's going to be very important as you look ahead. The third change that's going on at the same time is we have an increased aging of the world. In fact, we'll be the oldest planet we've ever been. We're going to have more people over the age of 65 than under the age of 14. We've never had that before. In 3 years, we will be at that point. And as I like to say, as I get older, I think that's not a bad thing to have older people around. We can think about things and do things, and there's a lot of energy that old people have. But it's going to require us to challenge some orthodoxies about how our economies work, how we take care of people, how we think about health, biology, many, many different dimensions. Because if we continue to work as a society in which we are today, where people retire at 65, we will see a halving of our GDP per capita in Canada over the next 20 years. It has very serious consequences, let alone what happens on the health side. And the final force that's occurring, also with these other three, is a lot of people in the world, particularly in the Western world, are dissatisfied and upset with the system. 500 million people in North America and Western Europe have experienced flat to declining income in the last 15 years. They're not happy about it. They don't think the system works right. And we're going to need to have innovation in our political system and our construct of how we think about democracy. So lots of challenges. I'm an optimist, so I actually believe there's huge opportunities, but we're laying out a breakfast, if you will, that's going to be quite challenging to digest. Fortunately, you have been educated at Waterloo. I personally didn't have the chance to be educated at Waterloo. As I said, I wouldn't have the marks to get in, let alone be able to graduate in the system. But what I can say through traveling around the world is I see a lot of Waterloo graduates in leadership roles that are pushing orthodoxies and changing the system. Because it's not just the skills I've learned that you learn here, it's that you challenge assumptions. You go beyond what's normal. You like to deal with the most difficult of issues. It almost I would say, excites people more than makes people nervous. And that's actually wonderful, because we're going to need a lot of it. I was recently at a conference talking about space, outer space, and the topic quickly pivoted to conflict in outer space. Will we have a Cold War? What are some of the things we should do today? Fairly futuristic. The most interesting and profound question was actually asked by a Waterloo graduate, a graduate from 25 years ago, who about halfway through said, I'm actually tired of talking about all the pain and the concern and issues. I think there's massive opportunities in outer space. And my question to the group is, how long is it going to take for us to get 100,000 people living in outer space. And at first people thought this guy had been eating the mushrooms or the cannabis in Canada or whatever the case was. But as the conference went on, people began to think that actually was the more interesting question that we should be asking. And that's just a pin drop of the type of thinking that's here. And I hope that you will continue to push the envelope, challenge the orthodoxies, and think collectively about how to make this world a better place. For whom much is given, much is expected. That's something my dad taught me, and it's in many religious texts as well. So that's just a few words on the world. I wanted to then shift to the formalities of what we're going to do over the next little while. We're going to start by conferring an honorary degree on a very special individual who has actually some roots here in Waterloo, now is based out of Hong Kong, and I'll let you hear more formally later on. But we're very excited to be honoring him for what he's done, not only for Waterloo, for the university system, but for society in general in the world. We're then going to confer bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees in that order. And I hope everyone that we pay as much attention to the very last person who's going up as the very first. Please stay, and let's. This is a very special day for everyone. Just because your last name begins with a Z doesn't mean we shouldn't pay as much attention to the person with the A as we go through it. I've learned that from the provost. Does that? Yeah. That's what that's the plan for what we're going to go through. I've made a lot of my career focused on trying to predict the future for leaders. I've often got it wrong, but I'm going to predict we'll be done in 2 hours if all goes well in this session. So I want to say congratulations again. I want to invite Jacob Sivak, who's the Distinguished Professor Emeritus, the School of Optometry and Vision Science in the Faculty of Science, to the podium. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, I present George C. Wu. Professor Wu has had an extremely successful career as a vision scientist. He has authored 184 scientific publications on a wide variety of basic and clinical topics, ranging from fundamental studies of binocular vision to studies of the needs of the visually impaired population. He has been successful in obtaining the funds to carry out this research, and he has mentored a number of research students during his career. Moreover, he has continued to publish and innovate even after retiring, sort of retiring, in 2011. Professor Wu has had a major impact on the healthcare of Canadians through his role in the development of low vision services at the University of Waterloo. The low vision program, renamed the Centre for Sight Enhancement, grew and became a major component of Canadian vision care. In 2006, Professor Wu's many contributions to low vision were recognized when he received the William Feinblum Award of the American Academy of Optometry. Professor Wu has also had a significant impact on the development of optometric education worldwide, particularly in Hong Kong. From 1987 to 89, while on leave from the University of Waterloo, Professor Wu was instrumental in a campaign to raise the status of optometry to that of a degree-granting program at the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. In 1996, Professor Wu retired from the University of Waterloo and returned to the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, where he served as Dean or Associate Dean of the Faculty of Health and Social Sciences between 1997 and 2011. Professor Wu was also influential in the development of optometry programs at other Asian universities, such as at Sun Yat-sen University and Tianjin Medical University. A true international leader in the field, he has served on the governing board and as president of the World Council of Optometry. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of his significant impact on health and optometric education worldwide, I request you confer the title Doctor of Science, honoris causa, upon Professor George C. Wu.
Congratulations. I'm honored to confer upon you, George C. Wu, the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa. I extend my sincere congratulations.
I now invite Dr. Wu to the podium to address Convocation.
Good afternoon, Chancellor, President, Provost, university dignitaries, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to all the graduates today for successfully completing your degree programs. Whether you are all now planning to enter the workforce in healthcare, science, or to pursue graduate studies afterwards, I wish you success at every step of your journey. Whatever you decide to do, I hope you will continue to embody the values you've learned at Waterloo of working, studying, and playing with integrity. And like Waterloo, to recognize that personal integrity is a goal in progress and a lifelong commitment. The optometry and pharmacy graduates among you have already undergone a white coat ceremony and recited a pledge of professionalism or code of ethics. But I believe that if you are a biology, biochemistry, or psychology graduate, you too will benefit from thinking and acting professionally and ethically in everything you do. Many of us graduates may have been attracted to study optometry or pharmacy partly because those two professions offer relatively good job security, among other things. But having been a practicing optometrist myself for some 45 years, I urge you to always bear in mind that those two professions are healthcare professions first and foremost. So your highest priority is always the health of your patients. The difference you make in their lives can be life-changing for them and their families, and ultimately for their communities. Regardless of which career path you eventually take, you will likely feel rather insecure in your abilities at the beginning. There is no easy way to overcome this except to build up your confidence by practice and lifelong learning, and by asking for advice from colleagues and peers. Remember that other people, whether they are patients, clients, co-workers, or supervisors, are relying on you to get things right. When I graduated in 1964, the prospect of Learning to drive a truck was less daunting to me than deciding the diagnosis and treatment of patients. I had decided to apply for a position in Northern Ontario as the driver optometrist of a Canadian Red Cross mobile eye clinic, which consists of a truck and a 45-foot trailer. I didn't even have a driving license for a car. Never mind for a truck towing a trailer. Maybe because I had never driven before, I wasn't put off, and I managed to pass the test. Anyway, I soon became confident in driving and parking the truck and trailer from one rural school to another, even in the bitter winter weather. However, it took me much longer to become confident as an optometrist. I found myself having to consult colleagues occasionally and attending continuing education courses regularly so I could learn more about diagnosis and treatment for some of my patients. Later, I started my career as an assistant professor at Waterloo. I learned early on that communicating with and asking for advice from colleagues is just as important to success in academia as it is in working in healthcare. As an academic, I was then expected to publish papers in journals, well, what's is still the pattern, I believe, nowadays. However, after I submitted a manuscript on my unpublished thesis to a journal I thought was appropriate, one of the reviewers returned it with major criticisms and requests for extensive revisions. I was shocked and discouraged, but decided to revise and resubmit my manuscript. However, I still receive very critical comments back from the same reviewer. Uncertain about what I would do next, I decided to ask Jacob Sivak, whom you have just, who was on the podium earlier, whom many of you may know is a distinguished professor emeritus of optometry, a former dean of graduate studies at Waterloo, and a four-term former director of the School of Optometry and Vision Science of UW. At the time, he was Dr. Sivak, and we had just joined the faculty, and we were working on a couple of small projects together. He encouraged me and advised me to submit my manuscript to a more prestigious journal and also had a higher impact factor. I followed his advice, and the manuscript was accepted as it was, with no revisions requested. That experience greatly boosted my confidence, and I've had no difficulty in publishing my work since. I also learned that doing good feels good, and doing good can lead to doing well. As an assistant professor, I was also tasked with establishing a low vision clinic at Waterloo. My senior colleagues thought I would fail because the clinic had to rely on government funding for its setup and operation, which was notoriously difficult to secure. However, with generous help from my colleagues, and in particular, Dr. Graham Strong, we managed to attain government funding from 2 ministries for the clinic. Over the years, we expanded the clinic's size and purpose to include teaching and research, and the clinic was renamed as the Center for Sight Enhancement. It became the provincial center for vision rehabilitation. I'm glad that successive directors of the center were equally forward-looking. I faced a similarly daunting challenge towards the end of my career at the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, though it was my own making. I wanted to explore whether an optometry clinic similar to the universities could be financially sustainable if it were run as a private practice in a busy commercial area. A huge hurdle was that I had very little knowledge of how to run a clinic, especially in the areas of human resources and finance. But the university took a chance with my idea and set up a clinic in a busy commercial area as a wholly owned subsidiary. Again, I was able to ask someone who was around who could help me with difficulties. I encountered in management. In this case, it was my wonderful wife, where are you? Judy, who is in the audience this afternoon. I am extremely grateful to her for often taking care of the clinic's financial and HR management pro bono during its formative years, which ensured its smooth sailing. The clinic proved to be successful and was transferred into private ownership 6 years later. We opened 4 more branches across Hong Kong. In the 10th year of our flagship branch, the landlord insisted on raising the rent by more than 100%. The most obvious solution for us was to relocate the flagship to a less expensive and hence less busy area. But that could negatively affect the number of patients willing to travel to the branch for healthcare. Instead, we decided to move our flagship to a top-quality office building in the city center, and our gamble paid off. The clinic has proven to be one of the university's most successful knowledge transfers. Sometimes you have to think outside the box and take calculated risks when necessary. This then concludes my remark. Thank you very much.
My name is James Rush, and I'm proud to serve as the university's Vice President, Academic, and Provost. And I'm also very proud, as my first act at Convocation, to thank Dr. Wu for his inspiring Convocation address and to welcome him to the group of Waterloo's distinguished alumni. Would the members of the graduating class please rise? Mr. Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By the virtue of the authority vested in me and in the university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees, with all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Thank you. Please be seated. I'm now pleased to invite Samantha Ann Fowler to come forward and deliver the valedictory address.
Mr. Chancellor, members of Convocation, fellow graduates, and guests. For some here today, I am very much like you. Perhaps we have shared a class, fought for the same hidden study spot, or dream of achieving the same things. However, for some, maybe even many, we do not share many similarities. I do not stand up here today because I represent you as an individual. Your story is unique to you, your experience is your own, and this accomplishment will hold a very personal meaning that I can't hope to capture. What we do share, and what I can speak to, is this moment. This moment of sitting in this auditorium, walking across this stage, and accepting one of our greatest accomplishments. This moment of pride, excitement, success, a moment of anticipation, opportunity and uncertainty, a moment to dream of everything the future can and will hold. This moment may be but a small part of our lives, yet it was many years in the making and will forever hold meaning. So, in this moment, there are 3 things for us to reflect on that I hope will help do this moment justice. The first thing I have to ask of you, you are already doing by being here today. It can be all too easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of next steps and big picture plans and every job and application that stands in the way. But for this moment, just be here. For every future obstacle you worry about, reflect on the 100 behind you that you've already overcome to get to this place today. Your accomplishments deserve pride. They deserve commemoration. Take this time and savor the celebration, knowing everything that came before. Allow yourself a pause to reflect, remember, appreciate, and then we continue on to everything that comes next. Now, I ask that you hold on to your passions and take advantage of every opportunity to share them with the world. This is the moment where I say thank you. Thank you to those in my life who shared their passions about rocks and genetic counseling or the university's Quidditch team. Thank you to those who were passionate about fuel cell cars and teaching and guiding others. There is no greater joy than watching the spark of excitement in someone when they're talking about what they love to do. My classmates inspire me to care about things unconditionally, and this is how I know that the graduating class of 2019 can make an impact on the world, simply because we want to. As you walk across this stage, reflect on why you chose Waterloo, why you chose your program, and the passions that guided you. If this moment is the accumulation of years of passion, celebrate it. If it's not, grab onto the moments that are exciting, motivating, and inspiring. Let these guide your decisions, and please come back and share that passion with all of us. Finally, I know that we cannot stay in this moment forever and that the future is all too near. It is here that we look ahead to our next steps and to the possibility and opportunity that we bring. The best advice I ever received was to look to the ceiling, not the floor. A lifetime ago, when I was worried about the biggest life choice I could possibly imagine, I asked my guidance counselor what my degree would say about me. I was told to worry more about what I would say with the degree. It's you who says what's prestigious, what's important, what's impactful. Create your own opportunities, build your own path, choose your own legacy. So, those are the 3 simple reflections I ask of you today. Reflect on your accomplishments and take time to celebrate. Share your passions wherever and whenever you can. And look to the ceiling, not the floor. These may not change your life, but it may help you savor these small moments. Whether this moment is a personal greatest or one on a much longer path, do savor it, because moments are all that we have, small times that add together into a lifetime. Take this moment and appreciate what it means to you. You and you alone know the past work, obstacles, future, everything this moment means. And among all of our differences, thank you for sharing this moment with me.
Thank you very much, Samantha, on behalf of us all for your inspiring call to action and reflections on your time here. Good afternoon once again. Mr. Chancellor, honored guests and participants, we're off to a fantastic start and we're about to get to an even better part. Convocation is perhaps the most rewarding occasion in the life of a university. It evokes our ancient rights and privileges. It recognizes significant achievements and at the same time stirs us with the promise of new beginnings. On behalf of our entire University of Waterloo administration team, I would like to formally thank all of those who have made today possible. Convocation literally means the action of calling people together for a large and formal assembly, so it isn't actually possible for us to have this convocation without all of you. So to the graduands and to the parents, family, and friends of all of our graduands, especially those of you who have traveled from far to be here, thank you for making this convocation possible. And to the university community for developing these scholars and delivering this outstanding event for our new alumni, thank you all for making this convocation possible. And of course, we also acknowledge those who have been unable to join us today. Each individually, we feel their presence as part of this special assembly, this convocation today. I would like to now ask all of the graduands to please remain seated as I invite all of the parents, family, friends, supporters, and event coordinators to rise as you are able. I'd invite the graduands to look around and find where your very special people and supporters are. You probably are going to hear from some of them as you cross the stage and graduate today. I'd like you to know where they are. Would you please join together with me, graduates, to thank all of those who have made your convocation so special. Thank you very much. Please be seated. As we prepare to confer the degrees, I have a couple of technical notes for you. For guests wishing to take photos of their special graduate, there is a photography area located to the left of the stage, right over here. You can access that by the exit doors at the back of the gym on the west side and then come down the hall to that area. If you approach that area just before your graduate crosses the stage, you'll be in a great position to take pictures of them convocating. And then I just ask that once you have taken the photos that you exit that area to return to your seats to make way for the next set of people. And graduates, as the Chancellor asked of you earlier, it would be great if after you convocate, you return to your seats so that we can share the rest of the celebration together and process out together. Now we're on to the main event. We're going to proceed to the conferring of degrees. So to that end, I would now invite Marley Spafford, Associate Dean, Undergraduate Studies, Faculty of Science, to announce the graduates' names.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, Honors Biology. Natalie Ann Arsenal. Oh, Honors Science. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, Honors Biology. Celine Grace Aziz. Victoria Bardell. Vitalia Bardell. Eric James Bland. Megan Elizabeth Bowman. Philip Bronstein. Madison Elizabeth Brooke, Jordan Benjamin Brown, Erica Alexandra Burton, Reem Shauna, Shang Jen, Alfred Jerome Dagan, Chantel DeMille, Richard Doe, Alina Dibner, Rachel Constantino Dice, Christian Anthony F. Patridis, Maheen Fatima, Alan Fong, Poonam Kaur Furma, Mira Sheriff Gali, Anita Ghosh, Priya Golapala Pillai, Elisa Ann Guerra, Erica Jiu Gunn, Cheyenne Hang, Terry Lynn Lee Heisted, Renee Emily Hilker, Victoria Marie Hind, Vanya McKinney Pope, Eric Hung, Agent Jayanthan, Kristen Victoria Johansson, Megan Ashleen Jordan, Joel Gareth Carcata, Lisa Kester, Anna Ava Alice Ketchum, Hafsa Noreen Khan, Annalise Lavera Brown, Maureen Frances Latimer, Kendrick Wing Ki Lee, Sensen Lee, Elaine Liu, Alejandra Patricia Lopez, Kevin Jordan Lowe, Brody James Lowe, Mina Saad Mahmood, William Kenneth Martiniuk. Sarah Abdulkarim Mohammed. Alicia Johanna Moynihan. Fatini Papazotos. Nirav Kumar Harish Kumar Patel. Serenania Pathmanathan. Angie Perez. Marissa Garashani Persad Lakshman. Sherry Rabai. Marissa Rankin. Matthias Stephen Renaud. Mercedes Marie Rose. Craig Scott Roselle. Emily Catherine Semple. Morel Shaw. Timothy James Shardlow. Amanda Indira Singh. Jolene Smith. Maya Simone Stratton. Whitney Tam. Andrea Taminja. Jessica Lu Yen Tan. Arangsha Dilip Thankor. Sandura Thiramal. Anika Tra. Jessica Tran. Jonathan Tran. Matthew Eric Tersinski. Alexander Kenneth Umbach. Alisa Morgan Valentini. Nicole Renee Wang. Peng Wang. Marie Claire Wasson. Deborah Lorraine Watkins. Shi Wen. Matthew Randall Wong. Ensub Yang. Christopher Yu. Farhad Yusufov. Yuan Zhou. Jason Zhang. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Biomedical Sciences. David Aditya, Chelsea Megan Alder, Navjot Singh Bath. Amanda Botts, Diljit Kaur Brar, Amy Chan, Samantha Loktung Chan, Shivanji Chowdhury, Reshmi Priya Shava. Winnie Wing Yin Chow, Morgan Danielle Crawford, Mary Dodich, Jared Dookie, Irish El Kamel, Joanne Feng, Sarah Patricia Flamenco Martinez, Michelle Ha, Charlotte Sarah Hackner, Jad Hakim, Noor Hisham Helwa, Ilana Leah Hebert, Christina Hoshiota, Victoria Ashley Jamal, Selena Elizabeth Ann Jones, Chan Young Kim, Hitasha Samidini Kurera, Vivian May Y. Lamb, Joanna Pugh-Chi Law, Newman Law, Hatram An Le, Anthony Tin Yan Lee, Felipa de Silva Leitao, Natalie Ying Ming Lim, Patty Liu, Jody Lowe, Eunice Yi-Ki Lowe, Sitja Luo, Lena Lai, Michelle Jessica Marco, Stephanie Marie Marr, Elizabeth Laura Martin Del Campo, Brandon Ng, Elizabeth Jacqueline Ng, Vikwang Truck Wen, Zoe Ninos, Olusegun Odumosu, Preet Patel, Sanduni Perez, Raquel Marie Pereira, Sarah Pietrangelo, Andre Malik Quest, Sadhvir Kaur Ratan, Oshin Sanjay, Saja Sawafta, Carrie Ann Sherbinsky, Ashima Sharma, Madeline Shred, Sagar Shukla, Michael Sitchak, Jordan Smith, Stephen Ye Smith, Abdallah Taha, Tarane Tamure Sadeh, Glenda Thai, Aruban Tanabala Singham, Carly Marie Thrower, Lillian Toma, Michelle Victoria Tomcheski, Gershan Tour, Kim Nu Tran, Sean Andrew Sandelis, Sumani Vij, Sarah Grace Watson, Ryan James Williams, Carmen Wong, Kristen Wong, Yanling Wu, Zainab Ayumide Yusuf, Manuel Stephen Caseta Sagada, Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Psychology. Mahum Ahmad, Ravindra Kemraj Budhu, Shuhan Chen, Samantha Ann Fowler, Varsha Devi Gobin, Olivia Maya Hartman, Shi Ying Hu, Rebecca Malosi, Carissa Ng, In Sung Park, Harun Pervez, Kimberly Yarbingsing, Maya Ramchak, Bronte Amelia Smith, Sabrina Yakub, Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now invite Stanley Wu, Associate Dean and Director, School of Optometry and Vision Science, Faculty of Science, to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, if I might take 30 seconds of personal privilege. Thank you. Optometry, we say, is a family, and oftentimes we mean it metaphorically. You're joining a profession, and there's long-standing relationships and friendships. Today, it's literal. So I would like to offer my congratulations to my dad, Professor George Wu, who is an inspiration to many of us. Thank you. To my mom here in the front row, so good job acknowledging Mom. Well done, Dad. And to the class of 2019, thank you so much for that ovation earlier. It really means a lot to us. And to all the optometry faculty here today, we really are a close-knit family, and I couldn't be more proud. So thank you, everybody. Thank you. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Doctor of Optometry. Anthony Ali, Janae Ellen Armstrong, Eric Joseph Berry. Jothika Betty, Stuart Wesley Bennett, Theodore Alexander Buzea. Brandon Bezovi, Gabriela Camorlinga, Kirsten Sarah Carter. Fred Sen, Bobby Chai, Laura Lei Ming Chan. Jenny Chang, Jason Aaron Chow, Richard Cheng. Hong Q, Ricky Cheung, Stephen Chung, Melanie Chin. Wing Chung Theodore Chow, Margot Kaus, Lindsay Kroll. Sina Darab, Jenna Etzel, Rachel Exler. Michael Farr, Catherine French, Darren Gigliozzi. I'm waiting for 2 more cards. One more card. That's got to be a really awkward spot right now. Hang on. Here we go. Christopher Glass, Bashir Hussain, Mehraj Iqbalzada. Adam Lionel Giri, Katrina Delight Yorent, Kara Ray Jones. Rahul Joshi, Vinoja Kamaleswaran, Kurinver Kamra. Emily Jane Krinky, Sejan Kwan, Maggie Law. Heather Victoria Bruce Lane, Samantha Laudinsky, Megan Elizabeth Law. Jocelyn Leung, Yan Lee, Molly Ziwei Lim. Shelley Lean, Nancy Liu, Chelsea Lutic. Nicole Lisa Mayoni, Yvonne Olivia Mack, Christine Lauren Massacati. Louis Morgan, Janelle Morin, Jackie Ng. Rachel Ng, Jonathan Nieves, Eli Noor. Sarah O, Carmen Jiawen O, Logan Finef. Emma Ann Reed, Sarah Robin, Paula Romero. Nicole Alcina Sampson, Martina Margaret Sawatsky, Anthony Enrico Sforza. Caitlin Samer, Maninderjeet Singh, Simone Sitar. Jessica Skillen, Caitlin Barbara Skinner, Jade Sullivan. Gurki Rath Tagar, Yvonne Jessica Tai, Man Ching Janet Choi. Megan Van Alstein, Shireen Vazhapali, Sidoni Swain Ward. Catherine Marie Watson, Leah Shu, Jasmine Yakubowski. Yawen Yang, Heiji Yoon, Thomas J. Jungi Young. Last but not least, Jared Zeben. Congratulations, class of 2019, Doctors of Optometry. I now invite Robert Lemieux, Dean, Faculty of Science, to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Doctor of Pharmacy. Kiran Batu, Farzan Dadfar, Peter DeLonge, Catherine Hung, Gabriela Kernak, Angie Le, Alice Lynn, Nicholas Malian, Robin MacArthur, Nehal Patel, Mawisi Sosu, Carly Stoneman, Paula Wong, Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now invite Sean Wettig, Associate Dean, Graduate Studies, Faculty of Science, to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Master of Science. Quinn Harrison Abram, Rebecca Coe, Heather Nicole Decker. Winona Klempt, Mackenzie Ann Clifford Martignac, Benjamin Moreau. Asaramuni Nimhani Pereira, Emily Spasov. Benjamin Jean-Marie Tremblay, also the recipient of the Dean of Science Award for recognition of creative research as presented in a student's master's thesis in biology. Jill Woods. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. We will now confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy, the highest academic degree awarded by universities. Attaining a PhD is no easy task. It involves years of hard work, attainment of subject matter expertise, and a contribution to the sum of human knowledge in a subject area through original research. It is an honor to call upon the following graduands to receive the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Justin Knapp, Biology. Ingeborg Maria Mulder, biology, Abbas Omani, vision science. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I now request you to confer in absentia the various and several degrees upon those candidates who were approved by Senate but who were unable to be present at today's convocation.
I confer the degrees in absentia.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now invite President and Vice Chancellor Feridun Hamdallapur to the podium.
Class of 2019, Faculty of Science, you look absolutely fantastic. Yes, you are brand new graduates now. A few years back, some of these young graduates, when they first came to the University of Waterloo, we were delighted to have them here in this very gymnasium. We sat down with them and welcomed them to the university. And we thank them for having made two very important decisions. One was to go to university. Second one, to do it here at the University of Waterloo. But we also reminded them, even though they came with fabulous marks, I was just delighted to see some of them. They were just wonderful. But not to take it for granted that we were going to challenge them. Not that we really wanted to make it difficult for them, but it is one of those places that you can run 100 meters in 11 seconds, or this is the place where we force you, we make you, we challenge you to run it under 10 seconds. And this is the place we told them, if you wanted to do it, it will require hard work. You did not blink, but we also wanted you to make a promise. Promise that we will meet you here in 4 or 5 years. And I thank you for having kept that promise. We met here, and I heard from some of you as you were crossing this stage, they are so excited, so confident, and their hands are so sweaty. I am so delighted that you listened, you heard from so many people, some exciting things waiting for you, some challenges that were going to throw your way, but you are confident. You have what it takes to rise up to those challenges. This is a very exciting, very important day for all of us. We challenge you as best as we could for your undergraduate degrees, for your professional degrees, doctors of optometry, doctors of pharmacy, and our fabulous PhDs. You know, it takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of perseverance, takes a lot to do a PhD. They eat with it, they sleep with it, they live with it 24/7, how many years? It requires unbelievable patience. It requires a lot of curiosity, and they're here. We're grateful for your very hard work. You, at the same time, you challenged us. Every step of the way, you made sure that this university was also rising up to all the challenges. We will continue doing that. From here on, you don't need our advice anymore. On the contrary, we need your advice, we need your engagement. You have now joined 210,000 very strong University of Waterloo alumni family. And we want your engagement. As we will be watching your progress with tremendous pride, we also want you to watch us, to be with us. And to the parents, supporters, I heard some of you yelling, "Here is my sister," wonderful. Thank you for being here with them. Thank you for being with them all these years of hard work, a lot of studies. For some of them, thank you for paying their tuition. It's a little comforting that you won't have to do this anymore. Thanks so much. They wouldn't be here without your support. And I thank my faculty colleagues and staff also for making sure that you were here today. There are a lot of exciting things out there. Go do it. The University of Waterloo is very proud and very fortunate to have had you here as our students, now as our very proud alumni. Thank you so much. With that, Mr. Chancellor, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Convocation is adjourned. Congratulations.